Yes, okay. It's 2021, and as you can see from the title, I made a mistake. Okay, hi. Before I say anything else about this is my first video, so if this comes across as awkward in any way, it's because it is, I am, and we're just gonna have to deal with that. Okay, alright, cool. And just another thing for starters, I definitely used references from Google for this drawing since I had never actually drawn Santana before, and I wanted to spare myself the frustration and annoyance of not getting her face right, etc. Which is also why this sketch is not very loose and without much erasing. Normally sketches take me way longer to get the proportions and poses right, so do not think that this is what my natural freehand drawing process looks like, because it sure isn't. So, I've been wanting to post a video of me drawing for a while now, and yes, I know, very innovative, but to be honest, I find speed drawing videos without any talking and just a bit of music a bit boring, so I'm trying to prevent that by talking about whatever I feel like over this footage. I'm just praying to God that maybe it'll make it less boring, but we'll see about that. This is scripted though. I tried going with just a few bullet points first, but it does turn out my brain is absolute trash at making coherent sentences on the spot, especially in English. So this will hopefully be better? Question mark. To get back to the actual drawing though, Santana was very easy and pleasant for me to draw. I'm not sure about why that is, but maybe it's just cause she's so pretty. I don't know. I like drawing noses a lot, at least since I've gotten better at drawing them, which is probably why. But Santana's nose here is super cool to draw. I like drawing noses that aren't the stereotypically pretty small, slightly upturned button noses. Not that those kind of noses are bad, obviously. It's just I like drawing all kinds of noses, and I like when there's a bit of variety in the noses I draw. So, wasn't there like a plot point in the show about Rachel wanting to get a nose job or something, and everyone was like shocked and completely, I don't know, extremely against it? You know, it's just funny. They try to tackle every issue possible in the show, and they did none of them well. So, drawing her hair was probably my favorite part, I think. You know, she has this long, slightly wavy hair, and it's really fun to draw that because those are the kinds of lines that your hand does naturally like anyway, so it's super easy to draw, I think. And here I am just struggling a bit with those hands, as you do, even with references. But honestly, I think everyone kind of struggles with hands, with drawing hands. At least I do. And if you don't, look, congratulations. Good for you. Okay, here's where I'm inking my sketch, and I actually think inking is the scariest part of this whole process, because if you just fuck up one line, you can't really take that back, except maybe if you do digital drawing instead of traditional. That's why at least this stage always takes me quite a while, because I want to be extra careful, which is why I do the face last. I mean, it's the most important part of most portrait adjacent kind of drawings, right? By the way, I'm using a Tombow calligraphy pen, as you can see, which I don't know the correct name for it because it's all in Japanese. And like maybe some of you, I have had a big weed phase in school where I tried to learn Japanese as a teen, but sadly that didn't work out that well. But these pens really are pretty amazing. I have two of them for different firmness of the nib. If you see them in a store somewhere and you don't have one, definitely pick one up. They are great. So this is me wetting the paper a bit, but not too much. You don't want puddles of water on your paper, because water attracts water, right? And wet paint from the brush will be pulled from your brush directly on the page where it is wet. And it distributes itself pretty evenly by itself, so you don't have any streaks in your drawing when it's dry. It's a very good technique for doing large areas of one color, and I can recommend trying it out. I usually only do this after I've mixed my colors and shades of colors, because this paper dries out pretty quickly and I don't want it to be dry again when I'm done mixing my colors. So I first mix my colors and then wet the papers, and then I can actually paint. This first layer is a very light shade of this yellowish color, so I don't have to be super precise, and it's not as big of a deal later when I draw a bit of the lines now. And the next few layers are just the same color, but in darker and darker shades, which just means I mix the color with less water. So yeah, this is a very slow process, at least it is for me, especially since you have to wait after every layer till it's dry to paint another layer over it, so you have to have patience. But that's just how watercolors work. Most of the time I just think it's nice and relaxing. Overall, I only used 2 watercolor paints for this. The greenish yellow one you saw earlier, and a slightly darker, more orangey brown color. Honestly, I very oftentimes only use 2 colors because it's easier and quicker than to do completely realistic colors. Those do take a while, and I usually just don't have the patience for that, so I just don't. I completely endorse taking shortcuts and making it easier for yourself to draw when you can. So I want to talk a bit about why the fuck I'm making a Glee video of all things in the year 2021 and at the age of 24. A few weeks ago, the mysterious YouTube algorithm overlord decided to show me some kind of Glee video. I don't really remember what it was, but I did immediately feel super nostalgic about some good old teenage drama and being in a choir myself back in school, back when I watched Glee for the first time. And I've also never watched further than around the first episode of season 4. I think that's pretty common, to be honest, to drop the show at that point. So I wanted to do a rewatch to actually see how the show even ends. I didn't even know. But then I remembered that around 60% of the storylines are completely dumb and boring, and I only really want to see, well, basically the gays of the show again anyway. So since the show is on Netflix, I literally just skipped through the episodes to find the stuff I was interested in, and that made it a real pleasant watch, actually. If you are planning on rewatching Glee anytime soon, this is the way I recommend doing it. Saves a lot of time, just saying. Oh, and by the way, even though probably literally no one cares, my favorite Santana songs are probably the Rumor Has It Someone Like You mashup, her version of Don't Rain on My Parade, and Smooth Criminal, which is absolutely iconic, by the way. And if you have never heard it or seen it, do look it up on YouTube. It's a fun watch all around. So, Kurt, Blaine, Santana and Brittany were my favorite characters, at least at the point in the show where Santana was allowed to have an actual character. And I always get the urge to draw people and characters from movies and shows that I like, so I figured I'd just try filming it and talking about it and see if it works. And if it does, I definitely want to do videos for the rest of the gays too. Well, and of course when I say the gays, there are 2 other characters that are gay in the show, I guess. But, well, the one is that football dude from season 6 who dates Billie Eilish's brother for a minute. And yes, that is a real thing that happened. Look it up. But it's not like you get a deep look into that character in any way, shape or form, so I don't really care about him. And the other one is Kurosky, who literally threatened to kill Kurt and bullied him all through season 1. I'm still absolutely livid that they made Blaine, who was such a sweet character from season 2, date this asshole. It made no sense, it still doesn't make any sense, and you could tell from the get-go that the writers just wanted a bit of drama before getting Blaine and Kurt together again anyway. I mean, they even had Kurosky actually say that he knew Blaine would leave him for Kurt in a second, so no thanks. Not drawing Kurosky. At the end I wanted to do something with a bit of text, but I couldn't think of anything original, so it's just her name over her head. And these are just a few tiny details with a white gel pen, like reflections in her eyes and her earring. It's a very small thing, but it just adds that little extra something, you know? If you draw a lot with like watercolors and stuff, and you don't have a white gel pen, I would definitely recommend getting one. They're very good for adding these kind of details at the end. And that's it. That's the whole drawing. I hope this was in any way interesting to anyone. And if you have any, definitely let me know your Glee hot takes in the comments, please. Thank you. Okay, bye!